Thanks so much to 7shifts for sponsoring this video. A restaurant is the quintessential analog environment. I mean, think about it. All of your senses come into play, whether you're there to enjoy as a guest or you're clocking in yourself to work.
I'm looking up. What's that say?
Oh dear.
I know I personally rejected a traditional sit in front of a computer job and instead found a challenge and a weird sense of comfort in professional kitchens. But in recent years, it's hard to ignore the fact that tech has become more and more a part of the job. Instead of talking in hypotheticals, I want to dig into some real data that my friend DJ and others put together in a new report featuring insights from over 500 restaurants on exactly what is going on with digital tools in restaurants. You actually have the opportunity to see where you land. There is a quiz, it's linked in the description if you want to see where you're at as an operator relative to all the statistics I'm going to talk about here. Just to cut to the chase, this is the distribution, and you have this first 20% cohort at what they call starting. This is like analog. So an update needs to be communicated. That is an in-person chat. Do you need a request for something? Write it down on a sticky note and hand that physical piece of paper over to someone or stick it on their monitor. Talking about forecasting, that's very much so a like suck on your finger and put it in the wind gut instinct maneuver. And then you kind of see this equal distribution on these growing and integrated categories where they're using the tools, sure, but with varying levels of like expertise here. So the main distinction between the two here is, are your tools talking to one another? And regardless of the tool, even if you don't use 7shifts, it doesn't matter to me, across the problems that these tools solve, reservations, inventory, scheduling, point of sale, the restaurant's website even, is there a flow of information, some sort of automation happening where like if this then that, and it's saving you time across that functionality. And it's worth pausing on this because I had to experience some of these growing pains myself when I was hosting pop-up dinners. The tech can feel frustrating. I was experimenting with new tools, I was doing some things myself, I was trying to delegate things to other team members, and I personally felt like not only is it change, which is an investment of time, but if the tool doesn't save you time and costs additional money, you're going to be like me and throw up your hands and go back to the old way that you've always done it. I'll speak personally. The advice I needed to hear was to take the 10 to 20 hours to learn the tools, use them to solve genuine problems, and then automate those frequently done tasks, and then use that saved time to do more of what matters to you in your business. I think that's just maturing and learning from experience talking, to be honest. I'm just very anti-complicated system that looks like a Rube Goldberg machine now, where this tool does an API call to that tool, which then points to a QR code, and then I need to scan it to update this database. I'm much more of a fan of streamlined, simple, effective solutions. It's a less is more mentality, if that makes sense. And the 15% of restaurants share that they've got the tools, they are connected, and instead of being a nice to have, they're literally running the business based off of the insights that the technology provides. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not here to shame you into a sat in front of the laptop struggle session. You can do what works for your business, but there is a nugget in what looks like a random paragraph in the report that I want to provide some real world context for. So when I was on my externship, there used to be a day of the week when we would all look forward to the schedule being posted. It was almost a ceremonial moment when the printed piece of paper would walk over to the wall and get taped up, and if there was an issue with that schedule, it would consume that scheduler's entire afternoon with people poking their heads in his office, asking questions, requesting changes. And on top of that, there was multiple times when I would commute halfway across the city into the restaurant only to have a face-to-face conversation that I was only going to work a half day or something like that. I'm sure you can empathize and contrast that with what the report shares. Quote, modern platforms give teams the tools they expect, things like mobile schedules, fair shift swapping, and transparent communication. This empowerment and respect for their time makes a real difference. Now granted, my story was from a restaurant that I externed at 15 years ago, but that's a huge quality of life improvement since then. We've come a long way. And before I get into some exciting and really bleeding edge ways that restaurants are using tech, it's worth touching on costs. Of course, you can find examples of just straight up poorly run businesses, but a huge swath of restaurants aren't violently losing money. I don't believe that. When you really look under the hood, it's a half dozen, maybe a dozen holes, and viewed that way, running the numbers for yourself on what would 4%, 8%, 12% savings look like in improving those flaws. And when you put those marginal optimizations and improvements into perspective, maybe that makes a change for you and your mindset around all of this. Here's a fun example. The report showcases Jeremiah's Italian Ice, a location that saved over 27% in labor costs across the span of 2 years, which is exciting on its own. But if we hypothetically estimate, and maybe oversimplify, but stay with me, that labor cost was a standard 30% of their costs, that could be sent straight to their bottom line, and that 8.1% dropping to their bottom line isn't an 8.1% increase in profits. If they had 8% margins already, that is a 100% increase or a doubling of their profits. That's the power of these changes. Okay, I promised I'd dig into some exciting use cases. Let's talk about some of these cyborg concepts where tech is so integrated that it is a digital ecosystem of operational excellence. I'm not saying you should run your business this way, but if there's one takeaway here that you can use and it's actually useful and it inspires you, I'm calling that a win. So there's a whole matrix on this. I want to touch on a few. So this includes things like AI-assisted scheduling. So get the schedule based on the forecasted needs. So you go from 0 to 1. You're not just staring at an empty Excel spreadsheet. And then a human can come in, you're the scheduler, you can come in and review and make any changes that are necessary. Communication with read receipts. This is huge. No more follow-up phone calls to ask, did you get my email? Did you get my text message? When the schedule needs to change, the tech helps to facilitate those updates from shift coverage suggestions. So if I need some time off, I can actually self-serve some of that time off or coordinate with another team member to make sure that my time is covered. Time tracking via GPS. Why was this not a thing before? So it's literally if you're at the restaurant, the app clocks you in, and when you leave, it clocks you out. So there's never that annoying, oh, sorry, I forgot to clock myself out conversation to have. Huge time-saving benefits across payroll work, like instant tip distribution and automated alerts for things like labor analytics. So the system will literally be like, hey, this person has had X number of hours this week. Were you aware of that? Websites that incentivize loyalty. I've been covering a lot of this on the podcast recently. Link in the description to subscribe to that. This seems like such a no-duh thing, but as the person who used to be in charge of ordering and doing inventory tracking with automated ordering is a huge game changer because that ideally leads to way less instances of running out of stuff, practically speaking. A solve to a problem that I didn't even know I was going to be worrying about as a business owner, and like a huge exhale moment is automated compliance monitoring. And so if you find yourself having anxiety or you're getting these emails saying you're not up to date on stuff, presenting you with the analytics and suggestions is not just, hey, here's a problem. These systems get smarter. They develop the ability to say, hey, if you want number to go up or number go down, here's what you could do to enact that change and take some of these tasks off of your shoulders. I share all of this, I geek out on this stuff, and I was excited to make this video because I want you to succeed in whatever it is that you're building. And quite frankly, an awareness that there is a better way is often the first step. You're going to find a ton of additional insights in the full report. It's linked in the description. I'm curious to hear in the comments where you're at based on this matrix, or even if you want to give your own language around it. Also give some shout outs in the comments of tools that have made a big impact for you, whether you're an employee, whether you're an operator. I was really struck from a recent meal I had at Alchemist in Copenhagen, where those that remember like early prep list videos when I was doing pop-ups and I was talking about managing tasks in Trello. You can imagine my surprise when I go into the kitchen and see how the expediter is managing tickets at Alchemist, and they're using Trello, but in this like crazy expert level way. And the team is massive. There's like 110 people on staff at Alchemist. And so I think it's just so fascinating to see the same tool that I was using with myself and 2 other team members for a 5-course pop-up dinner are the same tools that this massive team at this Michelin-starred restaurant is using to manage their tickets in a way that is, again, different from pen and paper, in a way that another restaurant down the street might be also doing a multi-course experience, but they're using a different tool. My name is Justin Khanna. Get some color on that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you folks have a good one.